And welcome to Learning from Leaders. I'm your host, Patrick Dewar. My guest today, you'll love her. Have you ever tried to figure out how to get, not just on the internet, but actually have a presence out there? I mean, really, how many of us have basically an electronic billboard that no one looks at? And that's not what we wanted, was it? We actually want people to not only come by, but actually interface with us, connect with us, and convert to a client, not just a prospect. Wouldn't you agree? Well, today's show is all about that. My guest, Jennifer Bagley, with Compliments International, complimentsinternational.com, is amazing when it comes to getting not just internet traffic, but making you a virtual immortal on the internet. And I'm really thankful for that because she does my website too. And I just want you to connect with her and get to know Jennifer Bagley. Jennifer, thank you so much for being on the air.
Pat, I appreciate you having me very much.
That's good. One of the things that I want to get into right away, Jennifer, is your story, because you have worked with some of the biggest and brightest minds in the country, or possibly in the world. So tell me a little bit about how you got started.
Well, it's a little bit interesting. I actually kind of lucked out because I grew up having a father that programmed from the time I was born. So I sat on his lap all night and watched computer screens, black screens with green text. Didn't know what it was at that point. And luckily I had a mother that could sell anything. So very, very opposites. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to work under the supply chain umbrella, primarily dealing with logistics, global reverse logistics operations, and so forth. So interesting background. Usually those people don't like each other.
Sure. So I didn't even know that they spoke the same language.
No, they don't speak the same language. So somehow I landed in the middle and had the opportunity to look at business from a lot of different views and a lot of different eyes, and it's all came together in, to me, what is most interesting, which is online and where technology is taking us and how quickly it's taken us there. So it's nice being able to apply the sales and marketing strengths along with the operations and logistics strengths to a world that is everyone has got to get to know rather quickly, very quickly.
Now, one of my favorite things to do is work in masterminds, and I know that you actually spend a great deal of time working with not just like Fortune 100, but like Fortune 10 companies, executives and marketing people when you were in the supply chain industry. Tell me a little bit about how that led you into being, I don't want to say the geek or bitehead that you are, but the guru that you are on the internet.
You know, really, I've worked for some of the best companies, one of them being Nordstrom, and their corporate headquarters downtown Seattle. Their culture, in the way that they operate from a technical standpoint, is brilliant. Their culture from a customer service standpoint, absolutely brilliant. And they really were probably the pinnacle of where I got a lot of our culture for our own company when it comes to service, when it comes to execution, when it comes to the strategies that you have to have in place and the technology foundation that supports it. And it was an incredible journey, but it gives me and our company really what we need to work with some of the smallest companies there are to the mid-size and the larger companies and still be able to bring those things to the table through the internet.
Well, I know that having met some of the people that you tend to attract in your company, I am blown away because these guys know things that I'm just thankful they're not out on the street, okay? They know secrets of how to do things on the internet that mere mortals just won't try for. But when it comes to the things that you're doing on the internet, because you do a lot of things simultaneously. I mean, you are not just a multitasker, but you blend so many components. What are some of the things that are making you successful on the internet?
Right now, the way that we approach our business is education, constant change. It's learning the new technology that's out there, how to integrate it into what we currently have, and paying attention to our performance online. There's so many companies out there. They have a presence, but they haven't really gotten into what exactly that encompasses, how their traffic is performing, what is their website grade, what is their traffic rank, what is their Google page rank, what is their index pages, how many backlinks do they have. There are a million things that you have got to have in place to be successful on the internet. It is not a if you build it, they will come. It doesn't work like that. So
I thought Google took care of all that stuff for us. I mean, last time I heard Google was like the know-it-all. It knows everything. So what are some of the keys that when somebody's looking at putting a website together, you mentioned 9 things right there that probably went over everybody's head, but what are some of the keys that you would say you got to have this and this and this, and then you need to make sure that you've got these other things?
I would say the first thing that everybody needs to do is check your ranking. And there's a great tool out there that you can at least get a core fundamental and find out where you're at, what's your baseline. And it's called Website Grader.
Website Grader.
Yep, and it's actually websitegrader.com. And it's a free tool that will allow you to grade your current site on a number of different factors. What your grade is. If your grade is under 80, then you need to start really evaluating what you have. If your grade is under 50, most likely you don't have much, or if anything. It will also tell you how your website is optimized. People use the words SEO or supply chain, or search engine optimization. And it's going to give you an idea of whether or not that's working, what your rank are. Can you be found based on certain keyword searches, and where are you? Are you on page 100 or are you on page 2? So that's a great tool to start off with.
So get yourself, figure out where you're ranked, and then depending on where that is really
Call for help.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. I mean, where should they call? I mean, what should they do at this point? I mean, as far as we're about to go to a break here in a minute, and I want to make sure that people connect with you as quickly as possible. I know that complimentsinternational.com is your website.
Yes.
What else should they do?
Right now, for anybody that sees your show, we're going to offer them a 1-hour consultation for absolutely no cost. And we're going to explain not only what's in that report, what some things are that they can do better. They can do that by visiting complimentsinternational.com and filling out the Contact Us form, or by contacting us at our phone number. I believe that's displayed on the screen, 214-810-5933, and we'll get someone to set up some time with them so that we can go through those things with them.
Well, I know that when your people connect, they really, because they do know their stuff, you're going to get a great value. Now, when we come back from the break, I want to get into the real keys that Jennifer has or brings to the table when she's sitting down with somebody. What does she lay out in front of them to make the difference in creating massive success in your business? So with that, we'll be right back.